let's go on the inevitable fallout from the Voice campaign. And again, this is the reason why I am genuinely upset about it is that this is not just oh, well, we gave it a crack, didn't work, Australia's racist, boo-hoo-hoo. When you stuff up something of this magnitude and this momentum, it has all these ripple effects. And one of these ripple effects is that basically every single government in the country, state and federal, is running 100 miles from any plans it had for treaties. An Indigenous Voice to New South Wales Parliament has gone, it says, technically it's still on the cards in this news report from the Daily Telegraph, which is one source that never lies. So Minns has refused to rule it out, but he has gone, obviously, colder than an Eskimo without a woolly jumper, as the saying goes. There's a grab here, you can listen to him.
Our position is we're going to engage with First Nations people. We've got a mandate in place to begin the process of treaty. I'm not going to lie, it's going to be a very difficult process. It's been ongoing for many years in other states and jurisdictions around the country. So, but we've got a mandate to do it and we're going to progress it.
Yeah, and of course, anyone who knows how to speak fluent politics knows that not ruling it out means this is also Annastacia Palaszczuk not ruling out her government not doing a treaty after the Liberals in Queensland, who will probably be the next government, did rule out doing a treaty. Have a listen.
Well, I think you need to speak to him to hear firsthand why he is going against what he said very clearly in the Parliament he was going to do. Well, the next stage is truth-telling, and that's a 3 to 4 year process, and that's something that was voted on a bipartisan manner in the Queensland Parliament. And I urge you to go and look at all of the statements and the comments that were made in the speeches up in Cairns.
Translation, the Queensland Liberals are terribly unprincipled for dumping a commitment they made to treaties just because of some bad polling, and as a result of them doing that, we're going to dump ours too. So yeah, there you go. Whether you like treaties or not, or whether you care, most people don't even know they exist or they have no impact on them. But this is again this ripple effect of just this disastrous campaign that has everyone running scared from any Indigenous issues.
What's interesting about this is that Annastacia Palaszczuk has read the room. Chris Minns clearly has read the room. I tell you who hasn't read the room is Anthony Albanese. He's still saying we're pretty committed to the entirety of the statement.
No, to be honest, he is. Sources tell me that he is. he is just now committed to the sheer mechanics of rolling out services, closing the gap, but all that big picture stuff that a lot of people hope would be a circuit breaker.
Well, hasn't he said he's got to wait until the week of silence finishes and then he'll consult with? Well, we don't know who he's going to consult with, but he's going to get. Oh no, they've
already broken the week of silence to have a crack at the Libs for daring to suggest a royal commission into child sex abuse.
Well, yes.
So the Albanese government is now devoted to closing the gap and rolling out services, but won't have a probe into the sexual abuse and rape of Indigenous children, as we saw yesterday.
We know what happened. Anyone who works in this area knows what happens in some of those communities, and it's not necessarily sexual abuse, but just the neglect that's a real problem.
But it is worthy of a probe, so we can get the results and do something about it. I love that Palaszczuk, though, in her walking back, is just hiding behind Crucifuli's skirts, going, well, we can't do it until the Liberals support us, and they're not, and so that's the reason.
All right, before we go to